what has been going on in the last few days here in the bus. I've been cleaning out the driver's side windows, making sure that those window frames were completely cleared, the window sockets, the I don't know the correct term for them, but the part that has the actual window, cleaning those out as well. I ran out of my butyl tape at the back three windows of that side, so I was waiting on my new tape to show up, which just showed up yesterday, so I'll be able to finish off this side. I was getting the frames completely cleaned so that I would not be making any more dust in here, or at least paint dust, before putting down the flooring, so that that could all be done in a relatively clean, dust-free environment. And so got that done. Took the cover off of the fuel tank access just because it's took quite a bit of work to get that out, and if ever we do need access, I want to have an easier way to get at it. So I'll be making my own cover through the flooring system to get access to that. Leave the metal cover that was basically, I had to grind all the bolts to a flat and be able to pry them open because all the screw heads were stripped. And so once I was able to do that, it was fairly simple to open it up. However, I wouldn't want to have to do that through the bottom of a bench that's going to be right there. So we're going to create a much easier access. Hopefully we'll never need to use it, but if we ever do, it'll be a much simpler way to do that. And then did a final quick clean on the floor and put down our chassis saver paint all over the black paint all over the floor. And it's basically an undercoating for your chassis to stop the rust, to strengthen and really solidify. From what I understand, it goes in, locks it all in so that no more oxygen can get in and continue that rust, and in addition makes it extremely strong. So it's a completely new transformation here in the bus, going from having to wear shoes so you don't damage your feet or get cut or anything, to taking my shoes off on the first few days here while I got the flooring going in, just to make sure that I'm not scuffing it during its several day cure time, just to make sure that everything is completely solid. I mean, once it is all hardened, it'd be extremely difficult to get through that with anything. It's pretty bulletproof. And then started installing our flooring system here with the insulation, polystyrene installation that you can see here, going down first, gluing it PL Premium, then our Advantech OSB board going down on top. Doing a panel at a time, completely missed that. I filled a few buckets full of gravel, went, oh, I'll be able to do 3 or 4 panels at a time, and then once I filled it on, realizing I can do 1 panel at a time because I want as much weight on each panel to make sure it glues and sets and cures properly. And another big day tomorrow, we've got our insulation spray foam coming in to completely fill this place with professional closed-cell spray foam insulation. It is going to be incredible. We are very excited for that to be coming in, and a lot of prep has been going to get this finalized and ready for tomorrow. So completely finished putting in all of the subfloor and insulation, getting that glued down to the bus frame here. Completely finished that off, completely finished getting the windows fitted and the butyl tape put in on all the rest of the windows while we were getting the flooring glued down and letting that cure overnight. I would be able to then do the windows and alternate that back and forth throughout the day. And then I also was able to borrow a friend's electric caulking gun, which was amazing after using the big gun for the glue on the floors. My forearms really needed a break. So it was awesome to have an electric one for the regular size Sikaflex 291 that I put around the window seals and help give an extra layer of sealant through all of that. There are still a couple of spots that I discovered that have a little bit of water coming through. However, it looks like it might be coming more through one of the bus roof seams or the wall seams. So once we do our roof paint and roof sealant, we'll be putting a tape down each of the seals where there's all the rivets and being able to completely seal that off. So we'll run that probably a little long, go down past the windows, tape up a little bit more with that same material before painting the entire bus. and so that should get everything completely sealed off. But I'm very, very pleased with how well these windows sealed. For all the horror stories I hear about with the stock school bus windows, I know obviously they can do a lot better by framing it up and sealing it off with steel and putting in a few custom windows. However, we're very excited to keep our school bus original look. It's going to be awesome. And so very pleased with that. So got all of those sealed up, and then it gave this floor another paint job to make sure that the top is sealed off a little bit more from any moisture, so that it's well protected on both the top and bottom with all the glue and insulation underneath. And then also all this strapping, installed that, screwed it with wood to metal self-tapping screws, a first layer right into the bus ribs, and then once that was all put in place, I got a second layer screwed in with just regular wood screws, and that pulled it nice and tight, straightened everything out. As well, had a couple of spots here that I needed to pull out and pretend I was a real woodworker. Had some of these seams that they weren't able to go the full length because I've got my seat belt bracket that's going to get mounted back here, so it was in the way for this strap to go all the way down to the front of the bus. So I did one just a little jog up. However, because of the curve of the roof already, I had to get my brackets that hold it in place together, had to shave off the edges and angle them down so that that could secure and keep the angle of the roof. And then as well on the passenger side by the door mechanism for the door, so that had to get a little connection to go around it as well. And so got all of the straps in place thanks to my dad helping me out on a day and really get the roof all in place, which was awesome to have that help with the overhead work. And then also built some nice little boxes here that the spray foam insulation is going to go around the wheel wells. We also taped out our layout to make sure that that all works. And so it is awesome to be able to make a couple adjustments and make sure that everything is going to work. And the front wheel wells, I've got to show this because they are, I think they're pretty cool. Just how making sure that these front wheel wells, they're the turning wheels, so it's a smaller, but it has a bit more of a curve. So making these to fit as tight as possible to not need extra spray foam, but also to create possibly a little bit extra space underneath the benches that'll have storage there. So trying to be as efficient with every use of space that we've got here, and just put in an order for paneling to put the walls in and start having that go up. Probably next week we will have some three-dimensional material coming into this bus. And so it has been an awesome time here, and very, very different bus on the next time here after tomorrow's spray foam work is done.